Hey, there's some empty seats up here, so please take a seat. And on your seat you should have a handout as well, because I'll be giving some information and I'm sure it's really difficult to remember it all, so hopefully the handouts will help you. Because we've only got 10 minutes, I'm only going to cover an overall mental health type discussion, okay? If you need something specific, our table's just there. Please come and see us afterwards. We are here until 2 and probably even longer, so don't be afraid to come and see us, okay? Cool? As Damien said, I do some work with Red FM. We have a segment on FIFO Life. I can assure you, I'm taller on radio. Okay. I'm a psychologist, as he said, so I've been a psychologist for 17 years, so I've been spending 17 years trying to work out my own brain. So hopefully it's okay, all right. So what we're going to talk today about is catching yourself before you fall. And I'm assuming you're all wanting to know when is it a good time to go and see somebody, right? Okay. In order to know that, I really need to help you understand this thing called the mental health spectrum. And why you need to understand it is because mental health there's some stigma around it, and there's a lot of people who don't really understand it. So I'm just going to start off by asking you a question today. This morning, how many of you asked your kids to rug up? Because it's cold, yeah? And how many of you go, oh, it's cold outside, it's going to rain, I need to rug up? Okay, you do that? Did you do that? Yeah, because we know that in order to protect ourselves physically from the cold, we need to rug up. But do you know how to do that mentally? Because we don't seem to do that, because it's much easier to do something that protects us physically but not so much mentally. So I'm hoping by the end of this 8-minute talk now, you'll know when it's time to rug up. Okay. So, in psychology, we talk about two things to stop yourself from falling. One is minimizing the risk that you face that's going to send you down a spiral. And the other thing is to increase what we call protective factors. So today I'm going to talk about these protective factors. So as I said earlier on, you need to understand this thing called the mental health spectrum. So when I ask, what is mental health? What do you guys think of? Just yell out any word. Stress. Eggs. Anger. Anything else? What is mental health? Stress, anger. Anything else? Depression. Yep. Anxiety. Yep. Okay. So normally when we ask this question, most people think depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, out of control, overstressed, all those sorts of things. They predominantly fall under this end of the spectrum, which is ill. But when we're talking about catching yourself before you fall, you can do that way, way, way early on in the piece, because the spectrum looks like this. You start off being healthy. Being healthy means there's normal functioning. It means you have normal mood fluctuations, and we do have mood fluctuations, and it's not just hormonal, we just do. We have normal sleep patterns. Do you know how many hours sleep we need per night? Anybody? 8? 7? 10? Oh, sleep is very good, because as a child, you need more. So, any other? 6? Okay, it's actually between 7 and 9. And do you know what you need sleep for? Okay, basically it's to heal your mind and heal your body. So you don't get just 7 to 9 hours sleep per day. You're finding it really difficult to heal your mind and your body. Okay, so that's why we say get sleep. Physically well and have energy. Okay, again, some of that fluctuates. You can get things done. I was actually going to say get done, but it's a family affair, so get stuff done and you're socially active. Okay, so that's the healthy. Anybody around that point? Hopefully most of you at some point. When we slide a little bit down this continuum or spectrum, we hit this thing called the reacting phase. That's when you have common but reversible type distress. And it looks like this. And the reason I'm going through these things is because I need you to recognize it. Nervousness, irritability, trouble falling asleep, tired, low energy, muscle tensions, headaches. You procrastinate. Decreased social activity. Does that resonate with a few people? Okay, so this is the reacting stage. What's really good about these two stages is this is the stuff you can manage yourself, or you can do that with family and friends or your partner, okay? So this is the area you really, really want to be working in, because after that, you slide into the next two stages, which is injured. When you're injured, you have significant functional impairment. So this is where we have anxiety, but still somewhat reversible. Pervasive sadness means you're perpetually sad, and also hopelessness, okay? You can't get to sleep and you can't stay asleep. You forget important things and details, and I know some of you ladies saying, yeah, but my partner forgets my birthday all the time. It's not quite that, but it's like your daily working performance stuff, okay? You have social avoidance or withdrawal. Normally, you socially avoid and withdraw because first of all, you don't have the energy to socialise, or you're too afraid that people will see that you're not well. Okay, so this is where you're hitting the injured stage. And there's some grooming issues, like, oh, you'll know, you can't be bothered with your hair today. And with the guys, you can't be bothered with your makeup. Okay. And then, if you don't deal with that at that point, you hit the ill stage, which are all the things you've been talking about previously. Anxiety, depression, possibly schizophrenia, which are normally some more severe cases. Okay. Why did I show you this sort of stuff? Because by the time you get to the last two, you really should be seeking some professional help, and there is no harm doing so. Right? Because this stuff, you don't want to be doing on your own. And normally we say, if you start feeling some of these things, the injured part, for 2 weeks straight, it's probably not a bad time to seek some help. And if you're worried about the cost associated with this, see your GP. They can put you on a care plan and you get Medicare rebate. Or if you have an EAP provider at work, it's normally open to families as well. Okay, so go and do that. So, what I'm going to talk about is how do you stay in this space? How do you stay in the healthy and reacting phase? Well, what we like to do is simplify everything, and we can only talk about a few things today. I'd like you to think about the 3 B's. Something to protect your brain, something to protect your body, and something that allows you to be with your buddies. Okay, these 3 things have been proven to minimize some of the risk and protect you from some of the mental illnesses occurring. So with the brain, the handout you can see, you can write on this if you like. One tip I like to give you is a stress management tip. Normally when we're really stressed out, we are totally overwhelmed that we try to take on way too much and we try to control the world. And I'm putting my hand up because I try to do that too. So what I'd like you to do is think about 3 circles. The inner circle is what I say is within your control, the control circle. The next circle is what is within your influence. That's the next circle out. And the final circle is it's not within my control and it's not within my influence. So I would like you right now to think about something that stresses the out of you. Where do you think it falls? Control, influence, or neither? Because this is what I say. If it's not within your control, you've just got to accept it. And I know as hard as it is, if you don't accept it, it's just going to do you in. Okay. If it's within your influence, try to change it. But finally, if it's not within your control and not within your influence, you've got to let it go. Okay. So think about it. Control, influence, and neither. Now something very interesting. If you put something in the not within my control circle, there is one thing you can control, regardless, and that's how you see the situation. So the only thing you can actually change is how you see the situation. And if you need a hand with seeing the situation differently, then that's okay. Does that make sense for the brain part? Okay. The body part, I think you all know this. What do you think we should do to protect us body-wise? Be healthy, be fit. Oh, I'm out of the camera. Oopsies. Okay. Exercise. Yeah. Exercise, well done, Patrick. Good job. What else? Eat healthy. It's your standard. It's diet and exercise. And we've got the exercise physiologist from Performex over there if you need some tips on some exercises for when you're up on site. Okay. Exercise is so critical for so many reasons. Biologically, it reduces the stress hormones in your body. The two stress hormones in your body are cortisol and adrenaline. The only way to remove them is exercise. And Dr. John has mentioned this in one of our segments. You do it with a slow burn. So even if you're just walking for a long period of time, just do that. The fresh air, the walking, it actually releases some of the adrenaline, the cortisol. And there's another thing that reduces your adrenaline and cortisol as well. It's actually a big whooping cry. So when you're really, really emotional, a big cry is the other way to remove some of those toxins in your body. Okay? So when we're thinking about body, think about that exercise, diet, and a big whooping cry. It's okay. Okay. And then finally, we've put this last, but it should really come first. Social connections is the biggest protective factor you could have to reduce mental illness from occurring. And this is why it's so difficult for FIFO, because you feel isolated. Okay? But you don't need, when we say social and having buddies, it doesn't mean you have to have 6,043,000 friends on Facebook. You just need one or two people that you can fully confide in, and you can talk about your deepest worries and fears. Okay? So having someone you can confide in and maintaining regular contact. You make up 50% of every relationship you have. That's a big chunk. So try and maintain some level of social support. In FIFO, if you can go into FIFO groups and catch up with FIFO families and on your R&R, do some things like that, that's really helpful as well. Now remember, this, you know the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, they talk about, you know, your social needs being midway. I actually agree, I disagree. I actually think your social is actually first, because even if you think about a child, they learn to socialise with you so that you can give them food, right? And if you were in a community, if you were social and you had friends, they're going to give you food. So think about it. The social component is really, really critical. Do you have any questions so far? Yeah, okay. So essentially, what I just try to reiterate is, because I think I'm running out of time, remember the mental health spectrum, it's on your handout. Try and catch yourself in the first two steps by doing this brain, bodies and buddies type technique. If you slide into the injured and the ill stage, do not be afraid to seek assistance, okay? There is no harm. That's what we're there for. So even if you're hitting relationship issues as well, see somebody, because it allows you to create the space to talk about stuff that you find difficult to talk about, right? So we're FIFO Focus. We provide some of these assistance, but we also provide training courses. So what we've got down there is a handout that you can fill in for courses you want coming up. If not, just take our card and give us a call for whenever you need to, okay? For you guys all sitting here, I'd really like you to take either a stubby holder for your kombucha, or a gratitude journal, or some candles, okay, for participating in my little talk, and I hope you found it useful. Thank you.